lucky. A couple of years ago, I reviewed the film Dirty Harry. Now, let's talk about one of its 4 sequels, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, Magnum Force. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, punk. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1973 action thriller flick Magnum Force, released by Warner Bros., directed by Ted Post, starring Clint Eastwood back as Dirty Harry Callahan, after the 1971 film Dirty Harry. Screenplay was written by John Milius and Michael Cimino, who later worked with Eastwood on the film Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. Now, this is the longest of the 5 Dirty Harry films. The film was released on Christmas Day, December 25th, 1973, but since I decided not to do much on Christmas Day, I've decided to review this early for its anniversary. Now, before I get started on the story, if you haven't seen my review of the first Dirty Harry flick, click on that little link up there, little card, and it'll take you to my review of the first film before you go into this one, in case you might have missed it, or see it again if you'd like. Now, I will tell you, this film is even more cool and more action-packed. Okay, let's get started. In 1972, after being acquitted of a mass murder on a legal technicality, mobster Carmine Rica drives away from court in his limousine. While traveling on a city road, the driver is pulled over by SFPD, San Francisco Police Department motorcycle cop, who calmly guns down every man in the car. Inspector Harry Callahan visits the crime scene with his new partner, Erlington Early Smith. Despite the fact that the two are supposed to be on stakeout duty, their superior, Lieutenant Neil Briggs, seems eager to keep him out of the murder investigation. While visiting the airport, Callahan helps deal with 2 men trying to hijack an airplane. He later meets rookies Phil Sweet, John Davis, Alan Red Astrachan, and Mike Grimes while visiting the police firing range. Sweet is an ex-United States Ranger, well, Army Ranger that is, and Vietnam veteran with great marksmanship skills. His friends are not that different. Again, a motorcycle cop shoots up a pool party, leaving no usable evidence of his crime. As Callahan early take down criminals at a drugstore, a pimp murders a prostitute for withholding money from him. The next day, the pimp is killed by a patrolman. While investigating the scene, Callahan realizes that the culprit is a cop. He assumes him to be his old friend Charlie McCoy, who has become despondent and suicidal after leaving his wife Carol. Later, a motorcycle cop murders drug kingpin Lou Guzman. The killer, revealed to be Davis, encounters McCoy in the parking garage and guns him down. At an annual shooting competition, Callahan learns that Davis was the first officer to arrive after the murders of Guzman and McCoy. Callahan retrieves a slug from Davis's Colt and has ballistics match it to the bullets from the Guzman murder. Callahan begins to suspect that a secret death squad within the SFPD is responsible for the killings. Briggs insists that Rica's former associate, Frank Palancio, is the real culprit. Callahan persuades Briggs to assign Davis and Sweet as backup for a raid on Palancio's offices. However, Palancio and his gang are tipped off via a phone call. Sweet is killed by a shotgun blast and all of Palancio's men die in the ensuing shootout with the police. Palancio attempts to escape, but Callahan jumps on the hood of his car, causing him to lose control and crash into a crane, killing him. Briggs angrily suspends Callahan for the death of Sweet. After returning home, Callahan finds Davis, Astrachan, and Grimes waiting for him, presenting him with an ultimatum to side with them. Callahan refuses. While checking his mailbox, Callahan discovers a bomb left by the vigilantes and manages to defuse it. A second bomb, however, kills early before Callahan can warn him. Now for the ending. You know the procedure. You have 5 cents to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. As I count down, if you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Callahan then learns that Briggs is the secret leader of the Death Squad. Briggs defends his actions, claiming that he is only doing what the broken legal system cannot. Harry responds that their methods will escalate until people are executed for minor crimes. He states he knows the system is flawed, but he's chosen to stand by it until someone comes up with something better. At gunpoint, Briggs orders Callahan to drive to an undisclosed location while being followed by Grimes. Callahan manages to disarm Briggs and force him out of the car before running Grimes over. Davis and Astrachan appear, causing Callahan to flee onto an old aircraft carrier at a shipbreaker's yard. Callahan kills Astrachan and takes his motorcycle, leading Davis in a series of jumps between ships. The chase ends with Davis driving off the ship into the San Francisco Bay and dying on impact. Callahan is then confronted at gunpoint by Briggs. The lieutenant mocks Callahan and threatens to have him prosecuted. As Callahan backs away from the car, he surreptitiously activates the timer on his mailbox bomb and tosses it in the back seat, which explodes and kills Briggs moments later. Callahan then repeats a comment that Briggs saw him earlier. A man's got to know his limitations. End of story. So what did I think of Magnum Force? Well, I've seen it a few times, and I'm going to say I really like this film. This is very good and what have you. After the success of the first film, I'm going to say it was really, really cool. Now, Clint himself was initially offered the role of director, but he declined. So they brought in Ted Post, who had previously worked with Eastwood before on TV's Rawhide and also the movie Hang 'em High. And also, the second unit director was Buddy Van Horn, who would later go on to direct the fifth and final installment of the Dirty Harry franchise, The Deadpool, in 1988, while Eastwood himself directed its predecessor, Sudden Impact, which recently celebrated its anniversary not so long ago this year. Now, I will review the rest of the franchise, possibly maybe next year, mind you. But I'm going to say it was pretty good. Now, John Milius, the screenwriter, later said he didn't like the film and wished Don Siegel had directed it as originally intended. So, and well, it was due to certain things because the film sparked controversy with negative publicity the following year when it was discovered that the scene where the prostitute is killed with drain cleaner had allegedly inspired the infamous Hi-Fi murders, with the two killers believing the method would be as efficient as it was portrayed in the film. The killer said that they were looking for a unique murder method when they stumbled upon the film, and had they not seen the movie, would have chosen a method from another film. Yeah. According to Milius, the drain cleaner scene was never meant to be filmed, but was only mentioned in his script. Well, that's understandable and what have you. Anyway, the film did pretty well, outdoing its predecessor, making $44 million here in the U.S., and became the 6th highest grossing film of '73. Reviews were pretty good. The New York Times criticized the conflicting moral themes of the film, and one said believed it was the same old stuff. The Chicago Tribune gave it a decent response and said the problem with the film is that this new side of Harry, his anti-vigilantism, is never made believable in the context of his continuing tendency to brandish his .44 Magnum revolver as if it were his phallus. The new Clean Harry doesn't cut. Some of the film's action sequences do. The LA Times found the film too preoccupied in celebrating violence to keep it in focus. A harsh critic of Eastwood's for many years mocked his performance as Dirty Harry, commenting, "He isn't an actor, so one could hardly call him a bad actor. He'd have to do something before we could consider him bad at. And acting isn't required of him in Magnum Force." The Washington Post, however, was positive on this, praising the film as an ingenious and exciting crime thriller with a less self-righteous message than the first film. Well, that's again understandable. The film currently sits at 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying that Magnum Force ups the ante for the Dirty Harry franchise with faster action and thrilling stunt work. Definitely, I like the stunt work in this, as well as the action sequences. They were really good and what have you. They have Lalo Schifrin on board doing the score, which I thought was really good as well. Anyway, with a runtime of 124 minutes, the film's the longest of all five of the Dirty Harry films. Now, aside from Clint Eastwood, who plays Dirty Harry again, which I'm going to say he's still good, we have Hal Holbrook playing Lieutenant Briggs. He's good. David Soul played Officer John Davis. Tim Matheson, one of his early films, played Officer Sweet. Kip Niven played Astrachan. Let's see. Robert Urich, in one of his early films, played Officer Grimes. Let's see. Now, Felton Perry played Inspector Early Smith. Mitchell Ryan played Officer Charlie McCoy. And there's several others and what have you. So, I'm going to say this was pretty good. It has a pretty good cast. And also, fun fact, Suzanne Summers, whom we sadly lost not so long ago, recently, well, made an uncredited appearance as a newly engaged woman in the pool scene, as a matter of fact. I almost didn't know that. Of course, this was still before Three's Company even premiered. But anyway, now you know about Magnum Force. It's a pretty good sequel, and I'm going to say I really enjoyed it. Now, of course, 3 years later, Eastwood would be back again as Dirty Harry in The Enforcer, which I will be talking about that next year, along with Sudden Impact and the Deadpool. But with everything said, it has a good cast, the story is fine, and I like the stunt work, and the action sequences are awesome. The score is really good. So overall, I thought Magnum Force was pretty cool. So would I recommend it? I'd say hell yeah, go for it. Magnum Force would definitely be worth it. If I could also suggest a one-time watch if you are a hardcore completionist or if you're a big-time Clint Eastwood fan. If you're into his non-Western flicks and what have you. But anyway, that's about all I can tell you. So what did you think of Magnum Force? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Disney's anime feature Oliver and Company. So if you like this, consider checking out my reviews for some of these other action-packed flicks. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Die Hard, which actually celebrated its anniversary, 35 years now. If you want to go to the upper right-hand corner and you can see my review for... Oh, what? Sorry about that. I'm trying to remember some stuff. It's tough for me aside. Hold on, please stand by. Alright, let's try this again. If you like this video, check out these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the original Die Hard, which is celebrating its 35th anniversary. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my review of John Carpenter's Escape from New York. Or if you'd like a little more Clint Eastwood, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of his recent film, Cry Macho from 2021. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.